Hey guys, welcome. This is And Now We're Haunted. Today we have a interesting episode. We are hosting Brandon
You
and
and that
Scooby.
damn word.
It's always interesting.
I know. Brandon and Scooby from Paranormal in the Funhouse. Brandon is the host and lead investigator, while Scooby is in charge of film, tech, and camera equipment. So welcome, you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's
Appreciate
good to
you
have you
having
guys.
us.
We're excited to hear some really scary shit and see how this plays out.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting.
Right.
They have a thing about me saying interesting so much. And initially I thought I would just try to scale back. And now I love it. And I'm just going to roll with it and use it as often as I can just to tick Steven off mostly. Because he will edit them all out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do. That's
So
been
it's a
so
fun
many
little-
cuts just for her and her.
I'm sure. It's,
Word
it's
choices.
time consuming, isn't it?
Yeah. That's even more fun for me.
It is.
Me
It's-
spending an extra
It's
hour.
funny
on
though,
interesting
because I edit at like 1.5 times speed, so everybody sounds like a chipmunk.
Oh,
And it's-
really?
Yeah, it's really funny to
Damn.
listen to.
So welcome, you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you again. I appreciate you having us here.
for sure. So we'll go ahead and just jump right into it. So you guys are Paranormal in the Funhouse. Got your start as Fun Uniform on Facebook, correct?
Yep.
So what got you interested in investigating the paranormal? Like,
Well,
What brought you here?
Yeah.
first, I was a professional gamer. So I
Right.
came from being partnered with Microsoft, Xbox. I was doing gaming, partnered with them in 8 months. So it didn't take too long. Then Mixer closed down. I got sent over for my new partnership on Facebook. I started gaming. It didn't really work out. So I found the opportunity to do my paranormal series on there. So, and I got interested in the paranormal since I was young, man. Always. I was always intrigued by it, but I was a skeptic. I didn't believe in none of it.
Right.
You know, I didn't believe in a higher power. I didn't believe in life after death. But in Pasadena, Maryland, you guys are probably familiar with that area.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
of course.
Growing up in that house had some strange things that happened, you know, from seeing shadow figures, that what they call the grays. That's what I witnessed. Sound like people were breaking into our home. People were living in the attic. That's what we got really.
Wow.
How
curious.
old were you when you started experiencing those things?
Maybe 10 years old, I think.
good
So
You
the
know?
age where like, might make you piss your pants because you're like,
Yeah,
what the hell is
yeah,
that?
dude.
Are you serious? I'd piss my pants right now.
Yeah, it was scary. And I suffer with panic attacks. So,
Sure.
you know, I wasn't understanding what was going on. I was getting sleep paralysis. My family knew what was going on, but they weren't speaking about it because
Sleep
I was.
paralysis.
Yup.
Yeah, that's
Yup.
tough.
So that's where it basically started. And then I just started watching all these shows. I got intrigued with Ghost Adventures. You know, that
Of
was
course.
a big influence, inspiration. But yeah, it all started with Pasadena, and then I went to professional gaming and found an opportunity to do what I love doing. You know.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
You were doing horror gaming originally, right?
Yup, horror content creator. I was known for Friday the 13th, the game.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So
Nice.
I
What
was
is
big
the-
with that.
You play that ghost game.
Yeah, there's a new one out called Phasmophobia.
Yeah, I seen it. I seen
Yeah.
that.
We goofed around with that a little bit and scared the crap out of
Yeah,
my
he
younger
had us
brother.
come over and hang out like when we first started hanging out. And he's like, I got to show you guys this game. And then we sat on the couch for 2 hours and he played the game. We were like, what
He was
is
like,
this?
"Isn't this interesting for you?" And we were like, "No,
No.
It
We're
looks
not playing.
cool though. I mean, it looks
Yeah,
cool. I haven't played
does.
it, but I want to play it to see if it's correct.
Right.
You know, if it's
Yeah.
all similar to what we do, or is it over dramatic?
Oh,
you
cool.
know.
You guys can have a bro night,
Yeah.
so I
yeah,
don't have
man.
to watch that."
Well, I'm hoping that we actually get to go on a real investigation one time.
That's
Yup.
definitely true.
And we're planning on bringing you.
Oh, yeah.
So
Great. That
I
sounds
can't
like
wait
fun.
to just wait outside in the car and be like, all right.
He's just gonna keep the car running.
He's
so
gonna
when
keep
we
it
run
running
out,
for
we can
whenever
just-
it's like,
you
now we're
guys
done.
can hold each other.
Right.
You and Kareem.
Jay, Meg, and Scooby on Team Pussy.
Team pussy.
So speaking of the investigations, you've done a lot.
Yeah.
What are your like I'd say top 2, top 3 favorite or most exciting investigations that you've done?
For me was well, the recent one was the Opera House Theater in Havre de Grace, Maryland. That was really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing scary, but it was exciting. My other one, I would pick Baltimore, Maryland Demon House, which is Gundry
Definitely.
Sanitarium.
Sure.
I love that.
Gundry Sanitarium.
Yup.
All right.
Huh. I'd love to go into. I don't even know how to get involved in like reaching out to people, or other than just throwing on some paintball outfit and trying to sneak in the back.
Basically, yeah, it's hard, especially during the pandemic. But you just contact them, tell them who you are. We building our credibility up, which helps. But
right.
I kind of tell them like, hey, I'm a Facebook partner. This is what we got going on. We got nominated. Tell them the good things and what we can offer by giving back. They might be a museum or they might do ghost tours. It brings attraction to them. So just talk to them.
Gives them like a exposure, like some kind of some advertising, if you will.
It depends on what they want as their image. Some people are back off, or they say they want it, then they back off. People are strange when it comes to this.
I could see why people would be a little hesitant.
Yeah.
You never really know. We were surprised yesterday. I guess the Conjuring House allows paranormal investigators, and I had no idea, and I got very excited.
Maybe that's something
that's a prospect.
In the not near future, but like maybe towards the summertime, we could just rent a couple of vans and just all go up.
Yeah, they were there for like 2 days, I think. So
we were just
cool.
talking about the Conjuring House last night.
Really?
Were you?
Because I was like, that's a place I want to go to, and I was thinking,
if you investigate that, I will suck it up and
you'll go.
I'll go.
Well, and the people we found were not they were not that experienced from what I saw. So if they're just letting any Joe Schmo in.
I will not be left in the basement by myself, though. That I will not do.
Oh, sorry. That's the only stipulation.
And I assume that once we talk to Scooby here in a minute, that he probably shares the same views as me.
You and Scooby can go down there together, so you're not alone.
Still not enough people.
Dude, they'd love to feed off your fear. You'll just make it more
Scooby's over
entertaining.
here
Still
shaking
not
his
enough
head.
people. Nope.
He's like, hell no.
That would be worth it. Just have those two down there with a couple of cameras.
Oh, yeah.
Send Meg down there with
I'll
them.
do it. Fine. You and me, we'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
I
The
would
three of
love it.
us, you guys can.
You want to go
sit
get
in
a
the
beer or
kitchen.
something? Just like, nope.
Yeah, so just in case everybody hasn't noticed, Meg is actually not with us today. Not that she's moved on or anything. She's just visiting some family.
She's not passed over the Rainbow Bridge to the other side yet.
I said that like she died.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah, you
ask.
did.
I was gonna ask where she was.
Speaking of ghosts,
Right.
Meg's not here today.
So no, she's up visiting family this week. So took the time, got the extra mic, and figured why not? Let's do it.
So going back to the Gundry Sanitarium, what in particular made that one of your favorite locations?
Oh man, because the name speaks for itself. I mean, I was doing research on it and it sounded dangerous. I was like, I like to put myself in the front lines and do this, man. I like to not just be excited, but I want to be scared,
Danger is his middle name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there was, I felt bad because there was a lot of stories about the kids that were killed there, kept in isolation. And I like to be able to help them find the light as well, if I can. So that intrigued me. I was told there were seances done in there. This was just a really intriguing place. The list goes on because it was a nursing home. Then the Gundry brothers turned it into something for the children. And like I said, that was bad. It was bad for them.
Huh.
But they all said, like watching YouTube videos, they claimed there was something demonic there. I just wanted to find out if that was true, if the story was true. But yeah, it was definitely dark. I mean, it was definitely dark. I mean, I got kids screaming and crying. You can hear them. You could also hear the growling right in front of your face, not an EVP or anything, right on your video.
Huh.
You can just hear
Don't like
it.
that.
Stacy, she picked it up. He heard it. We all did. And just the feeling in there, I started feeling like I was getting sick with the flu.
Wow.
It was just crazy, but that's intriguing for me.
Yeah.
It was a new experience.
You had mentioned that you suffer from panic attacks.
Yep.
Now, while you're, I guess we'll call it on camera,
Yeah.
does that ever happen to you, or are you in a different mindset?
Different mindset.
Just check
but
it
it
at the
does
door.
though. It will if we take breaks. I start thinking about it. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it does happen. Or it's moments before, and I'm about to second guess, should I go in here or not? Because my mind's racing. And then I also have all this other stress. So I remember all the information of this place. So you get all this anxiety built up. But yeah, I deal with panic attacks badly. But when I get on camera, I usually forget about it.
That's the feeling I
Yeah,
get.
see, I've never done this, and I admire that.
Right?
Yeah.
I get that feeling after I eat too much Buffalo Wild Wings.
I don't think that's anxiety.
Well, it is in some ways. It depends on if I'm in public.
It's just the timing of when is this going to hit?
Yeah, that actually reminds me of the our first episode was the Trans-Allegheny lunatic asylum, and that's like the only thing I've really researched as far as sanitariums and things.
Yeah.
Looked into a little bit of the Forest Haven here in it's over next to the NSA.
Forest Haven.
Yeah. But yeah, those places are really crazy. Some of the stuff.
They are. Usually all the asylums have crazy stories and claims there. Yeah.
Definitely.
From all the stuff that they've done in the past to people.
Yeah, we did one. Jay covered a story about a place up in Massachusetts. Same situation.
The Metropolitan State Hospital in Lexington, Mass.
Did they give kids lobotomies too?
They
Was
did.
that what happened
Wow.
there?
Yep.
And they did a lot of experimental stuff on children and just woof.
I want to move into a place that's haunted, man. I want to live there.
Boy, I have a recommendation for you.
I kind of already do. That's because I bring things home all the time. And
Sure enough. Yeah, that's
we're staying
true.
at a hotel, and it's crazy. So
that actually, that brings up a good question. So, how much do you interact with like relics, and using air quotes here, relics or items or anything like that, or is it just things attached to you? Or?
I mean, things attached to me, I guess, and yeah, that's just attached to me. Yeah,
they like the scruffy look. That's what they like.
That's what they're into.
They're always
18th century ladies.
They're always.
His beard is much more lined up than mine.
Nah, man, you should have seen it recently. You know, it was down to here, looked like Duck Dynasty.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude, I cut that off. When I started, like, I guess when it came back from Georgia and I started filming for this, I had to cut that off, man.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Feel
from
more
Georgia.
presentable.
I'm from Georgia. Georgia will do that to you.
Yeah,
I guess
Georgia will.
I guess what it is you get a lot of attachments, not from just rookie mistakes or anything like that. It's because they find out who you are, what you do, and they want a voice. They follow you home. They don't know they're dead, or they can't find the light. It depends, man. Sometimes it could be dark too. I experienced that too. I mean, he stays with us a lot and he sees and hears things, but he hasn't got any attachments yet. So that's good.
No attachments for Scooby.
So when you say, that's an interesting point you mentioned, that rookie mistakes. What is a rookie mistake? Because for our listeners, you're our first paranormal investigator. So what do you classify as a quote unquote rookie mistake?
Well, have you ever noticed a lot of people are like, use our energy? I do that sometimes too, but that, I guess you could call it a rookie mistake, because really, if you're in a dangerous location and you're saying it and you're forgetting what you're doing,
you're giving them permission.
Yeah, you're giving them permission. Especially provocation. Like if you're going to provoke them, usually I will if I felt threatened or if they hurt somebody. Sometimes I do it, or do it just for people to see, documentation to see what would happen. But those are rookie mistakes. You're provoking. That's dangerous.
Hear that, Lil?
Yeah,
I am the rookie.
Yeah.
It's not the brightest, especially. And then people also do immature things when they just start to, which they got to remember not to do certain things. Like we've had that before. We'll have guests on a show and they do things like hawking loogies all over the place.
Oh, no, I would not do that.
Disrespectful stuff. And then calling them whores and stuff like that. I'm like, seriously?
Oh, boy.
Like, that's just common sense kind of, but people make those mistakes. But be careful provoking. And
I provoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you went into the Monty V from last week's episode and we're just like talking about those two prostitutes that like strangle men? The hotel website actually says that, which is crazy to me, the majority of men that stay in this certain room wake up feeling like they're being strangled because these two prostitutes got murdered there.
Yeah, but it's not a BDSM room. We want to make sure.
Yeah. It's not like they're not paying extra
for it.
But
all right, so moving on.
What? All right, so we talked about the Monty V, but that's out in Arizona. What places would you like in the U.S. specifically, if you could just pick any three? Where do you think you'd want to go and investigate?
You were saying the same thing yesterday to me. We were talking about that. We both agreed on definitely Crownsville Hospital here for sure.
Oh, which is
Crownsville
very
Hospital.
close.
Yeah, and it's still in Maryland, but that's a place that you've never really seen any investigations done there. The stories are crazy. They put a they put a documentary out as well.
Was that the hospital for the African American?
There's a lot of stories.
Like mental institution. I know there was one specifically here.
It was a mental institution, but it was a lot. I mean, you got your basic stories, but there's more. But yeah, there was people that were did they slave them? I'm not sure if there were slaves staying there too. I don't remember. But there's a lot of stories there. Crownsville is just crazy. It's filled with energy. It's dark.
Crownsville Hospital, from lunacy to legacy.
Yeah, Lunacy to Legacy is a documentary. We would probably tell you the more history of it.
Huh. Maybe we'll watch that sometime.
We'll throw that up.
It was bad as it could be.
Yeah.
I mean,
a little light watching.
I was about to say light viewing.
Well, it's an hour and 48 minutes. So.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. Right. I mean, some of the people are still alive from there that stays in Maryland. They're half brain dead, dude. They can't even speak from the medications they were giving them, the lobotomies. And yeah, I think they treated African Americans like shit there. They did do that. I'm not sure exactly the whole story for that one, but I do remember that now.
Woof. That's rough. Okay. Did you have another one?
Yeah. Waverly Hills. That's what it is. Waverly Hills. That's in Kentucky, right? Kentucky. Yup.
Cool.
Just because it's seen Zach Bagans' Ghost Adventures go there, and everybody's always mentioning it. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go.
I don't know why, but when you said Waverly Hills, all I could think about was
Waverly Place.
Yeah, Wizards of Waverly Place from the Disney show.
Just plugging Selena Gomez.
Different realm.
I'm the child here, and even I thought that was ridiculous.
I thought the same thing, so I'm just going to go fuck myself.
Yeah, just go fuck myself.
I get confused because there's one here too. There's the Waverly Mansion where we're going to in Maryland, so it's the same name.
Okay.
So, but that one's in Kentucky. That's interesting. I've seen a lot of people go there. I would like to learn more about it and give it a try. But as you were saying earlier, the Conjuring House. I really want to do that. That'd be one of the third places I would like to try out.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like we need a solid 3 to 5 days on station to really get some good documented happenings there.
I would be the provoker though, again.
Always.
Yeah, I mean, provoking, you can do it. Definitely. Just you got to be careful.
We're trying to
definitely
in the future frame.
I mean, I do it.
You'll know.
In the future, we're trying to frame to have a setup to go on the road, and I just have it in my brain as you're investigating. We're giving live streaming play by play offsite for me offsite
like sitting in a bar doing commentary on a soccer match or something.
Oh shit, that cabinet just fell over. I'm out.
That'd be something new to put in a show right there.
Be funny.
Yeah, it would.
Well, so that brings up a good point. How much time do you normally spend in a place when you investigate? Do you normally do just a single day, or do you try to spend a lot longer?
Depends on what they give us, how much time they give us. But I mean, if we're going to be doing a live stream for people, our longest was 8 hours.
Holy moly.
But it usually, I don't know, 4 hours max is good enough if it's really active.
Right.
It depends what they want. Like the place coming up next, it's only from 6 to 9. It's not long.
Wow. Okay.
But it depends how you feel, what's going on. It's all trial or error. So, I guess you go there and find out what happens. But if they say you can go as long as you want, I'm going to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
sometimes
cool.
like the hotels, you're going to stay the night over.
Yeah.
So we're up all night. And that's a long, long night. So if you go to hotels, expect a long night there.
Yeah. That is, I think, one of the places I would like to go to, a hotel, whether that's downtown Annapolis or the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, something like that, where we can.
Maryland's the place for hotels, I think.
Yeah.
Not just because I'm from here, from the experience, So Maryland Inn, the Calvert House,
and then you can specifically say what room, even if it means you have to wait 2 months to get in there.
Mm-hmm.
But at least that way, then you don't necessarily need quote permission because you've rented the room. You can take your recordings and all that stuff.
That's true.
I'm sure there's people that stay there and do things like that. Of course, some of them are weird about it, like filming there if they find out. But if you're just going to do your room, it's your room. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. But if you want to do that, you got to do the Maryland Inn for sure, though, if you guys are thinking about it.
Yeah, I'd love to. I don't know how to set any of that up, but they've got the entire downstairs area that it is just not in use anymore. It's just a basement with like a tavern that's dark.
Nobody works in there.
Yeah.
Way back.
It did.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember looking at the photo.
It used to be
like,
one of our
Starbucks.
favorite Starbucks.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It was okay. I always had to bend over because it was so small down there. But
not all of us share
I
that
could
same
just
problem.
walk right in. No problem.
Why'd they leave? Were they run off?
Yeah, probably.
But
Actually, we should look into that.
Because
I think
you know
they just
that
booked a bigger lot.
Yeah.
Just up the street.
Dear
That could be it.
Starbucks, don't be a little bitch.
that man, I'm guessing, they had a lot of activity down there. But from being there, nobody actually works in there because they work at the Calvert House. That's where you go and get the room. So there's nobody in there unless they're changing stuff out, and they barely do that. The doors are always open by themselves, and nobody works in there. So you got the whole place to yourself if you're going to film there. If you're going to stay there anyways, there's nobody there.
That's
I
cool.
wonder, maybe we ought to reach out to him, see what we can do.
We should
not a
we should
problem.
Well, I'm planning
definitely
on going back, so
Really?
it'd be awesome.
That
we
would
should
be
definitely
fun.
build up our equipment arsenal. Which
Yeah, that's
brings me to my
desperately
next
needed.
question. Since you are in a variety of different environments between sanitariums, I assume you do like locations like bridges and cemeteries and hotels. What have you found between all those different environments is your most valuable piece of investigative equipment?
Yeah, so SB7 box, that is AM and FM radio. It's a white noise, and it gives off reverse and forward sweeps. And they believe that the spirits can communicate through that. And with what we've been doing is always intelligent responses. Sometimes just you'll get a voice here and there, but some places like Crybaby Bridge here in Maryland that we did, we were getting full-blown conversations.
That's
And I was a
crazy.
skeptic of it when I first started.
Yeah.
So we always try to prove to people like, look, dude, we're not getting interference right now. They're responding to us on what the question was. I was like,
Intelligent
explain
answers
that. Yeah,
are- yeah.
intelligent answers. So
How does
that
it
has
work?
always worked. So it's built, it kind of looks like a little cell phone or walkie-talkie. It's got little antenna on it, and it's like, I guess I don't invent these things. I know,
Sure.
but I'm guessing that it's basically a hacked radio. It's what it is. They hack them. I wouldn't know the first step into doing that. I can tell you that.
You just hit the
No
on
way.
button.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, I always keep it on FM, and I do it in reverse. So if anything comes in forward and it's intelligent, it's a spirit.
Right.
You barely get interference. I never really do. I
Also,
have.
it uses like the frequency to and the fast progression through the channels to create a word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Crazy
But
stuff.
but you'll actually hear their voices sometimes. Their voices come in. It's not just manipulating a voice or something. You hear their own voice. Like I've heard my brother come through it, and
Wow.
relatives and things like that.
Wow.
So it's always more and more compelling every time it goes somewhere. But the SB7 box, everyone needs to get it. But there's different spirit boxes out in the field, and they all do different things. But this one is my favorite. And I think at Ghost Adventures, they always used it. I don't see it as much anymore. People are using other things now,
Sure.
but I still use it. But you're going to want to use the SB7 box with the speaker, with the aux cord, because it sounds terrible.
Really?
You got to have a speaker. Yeah.
So it's good for capturing evidence, but it's bad for playing it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So some people might have a Bluetooth that records. I use my AVP recorder to record it, just enhance it. But they also got other pieces of equipment out there now for the SB7 box that can rewind and stuff like that now too.
That's pretty cool. What a neat.
But it's basically white noise, and it works. Definitely works.
I want one.
Yeah. You gotta,
I'm just gonna keep it on in our house all the time.
What's your
Just wait.
favorite food?
I will tell you that when we go to places and there's no activity happening, I believe using the SB7 box, it opens up a portal. It causes more activity. And I believe the person that's using it and you're using it too long, you're more vulnerable for attachments.
Excellent.
So I just have.
So not around the baby.
It's like that Simpsons gift there.
Right.
I'm going
Yeah,
to respectfully ask my wife not to use the spirit box.
Use the
Yeah.
recorder instead. Lily bought one of those, like the elementary school recorders. Just,
Oh, really?
Yeah, just to really annoy her husband. So
And I thought it would annoy him, and I think right away it did. And then the next day, this guy
I was
ended
trying to
up
play Mario.
Yeah, he ended up YouTubing how to use it. So he spent a couple hours trying to figure out how to play the Mario Brothers theme song.
there you go. That's funny. We're gonna have a whole band of just degenerate
know.
musicians.
And then I went to go buy a
away from the
kazoo.
recorder.
So ridiculous.
You've been doing this a while. Was there any point where you had a moment that you're like, you know what, that was a little too scary. I might not want to do this anymore.
Yeah, I had that. We didn't even get to investigate this
Scooby's
place.
like, yeah, every time.
Like violently shaking his head up and down.
I know that he had his experiences in places.
We're going to ask him about it.
I didn't
hang tight,
either.
you're up.
So his is definitely different from mine. We were talking about this last night, and I agree that Druid Ridge Cemetery was bad. You know, the Black Aggie statue here in Maryland, the Curse of Black Aggie, the Clotho statue, if I'm saying that correctly. Well, I was a skeptic when it comes to statues and these curses. So we were supposed to go plan this big investigation. I went there. I was there not even 15, 20 minutes. I got so bad that I almost went to the hospital.
Wow.
I guess in a way I wasn't taunting it, but maybe whatever was there thought it was. I was holding the phone to the statue and like, you know, look at this. This is what they claim, this and that. And, felt like I was having a heart attack. And it wasn't a panic attack. At first I thought it was, but I realized it wasn't. I was getting numb throughout my arms, pins and needles.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like something was bad. Like I had to go to the hospital. We were rushing to the hospital. I never went though. That place almost made me not want to do this anymore.
Wow.
I wasn't going to go back in to do this after what I felt. It was just scary. I don't know what it was, but on the Ovilus device that captures, it's a word database.
Mm-hmm.
So, and one of the words came up the next day and I asked what happened to me, you know, there. And it said the word Beelzebub, which is basically the devil, you know,
right.
definition of devil. You can even look up the definition to make sure what it is. But yeah, right. And here's the thing. There was something like a picture of a beetle with the name Beelzebub online. A beetle flew into the windshield and not in the windshield, through the window. The window was down that night. So I was like, that's weird. We pick up Beelzebub and there's an image of what it looks like.
Huh.
And that was a beetle because it takes shape or form of a beetle too. I guess that's
that's really weird.
Yeah, so I was like, was that what made me feel that way? Huh. I don't know.
They classify it in the Abrahamic religions as a major demon. So not quite like Satan, but like one of his deputies.
Did you ever consider just smashing the beetle?
No. At the time I wasn't thinking of the beetle. I was like, I thought about it the next day. I was like, that adds up now.
Be like, I'll show you who's boss.
And I was, it was just me and Stacy at the time because we were planning to do this. Druid Ridge Cemetery is like the King's Dominion of a cemetery, dude. It's huge. We finally went back though, and I did the Halloween event. People actually flew down here to meet us.
Oh wow!
Fans of ours, and we all did a live stream. It didn't work out as planned, but the current statues that were there, I did test the theory, and they do remember me, and they said my name, which was wild.
wow.
But
that is crazy.
I was scared, to be honest. Said to go back, but I didn't get it. I didn't get affected like I did last time because there's too many people. And I was like, let them do it.
Right.
Let them go numb.
Get the beetle attachment here.
And where did you say Druid Cemetery is?
Druid Ridge Cemetery is located in Baltimore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So
go to it.
Yeah.
All right. Last question for you, and then we'll swap it over to Scooby and hear some more stories.
All right. What is a benefit to investigating at night versus doing it during the day, other than the obvious, like it's dark and it's a little more spooky? Like,
it sets the mood.
Yeah. Have you found, I'm sure you've done investigations during the day and at night.
Yeah.
Have you found more activity in either one?
I noticed it's more active at night, you know, the witching hour, more night. I think it's more entertainment too, especially with using our equipment. Infrared and full spectrum just looks good when you're ghost hunting. You can actually see more, you capture more during the day. I mean, we did it at Gundry Sanitarium during the day. It was active. But there's places that are just more active at night. It's definitely more spooky vibe. A lot of people get asked that question, and the same thing for me. I feel the same way. It's more entertaining.
Right.
And with the equipment we use, I mean, they're all made with LED lights. They're all lighting up. So it's kind of made for that. You know?
You said the witching hour, and have you any experiences around that specific? What is it, like 3 a.m.?
Matter of fact, I experienced it where I stay at now at the hotel.
Oh wow!
My brother, I think, comes and visits me at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. around that time. But yeah, I mean, most places we go to, sometimes around 3 a.m. it starts dying down. It depends where you're at.
It's probably because they're observing daylight savings time in the
good one,
spirit
Steven.
world.
Can you like?
I'm shooting daggers at Steven right now.
Oh man,
what was it again? Like, how much does it cost to put Steven down?
Yeah.
Is it expensive, or can we all just chip in?
It wasn't much. I don't think we decided.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, man, 3 a.m.'s been active where I live at. So,
wow.
But most places we go to, later it gets active. It just bounces back and forth. Definitely more entertaining.
Have you found between day and night, or even like earlier in the evening and later in the middle, like closer to the witching hour, do things get more dark or more demonic towards that witching hour, or is it just kind of sporadic?
I notice darker things happen. I do. I think physically I start getting affected more. Wow. I mean, I've been doing it a while, and you got to make sure everything's not psychosomatic.
Right.
So
also true.
Yeah, but you start getting drained. They're draining you. It's getting later.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you feel that physically and mentally you're more susceptible to attachments or rookie mistakes, as you will, as the night wears on?
Possibly, yeah. Especially me.
Yeah.
I'm always sleep deprived, so it gets later and later. And it's like,
I know that feeling.
Not quite like him. He's probably more.
Yeah, the new dad over here.
7:30 p.m. rolls around. It's like, man, it's bedtime now. So
yeah,
and I little face mask.
Brandon's just waking up. Like
exactly, man. I slept 2 hours last night. Your body gets used to it, but then it sucks because when you're not doing anything and you want to sleep, you can't. And like you're so used to this. This is a drug, man. It's an adrenaline rush. So I constantly want to do it.
Yeah.
Man, so I'm more awake at night because I'm like, I got to go do this. So, yeah, but you're going to feel the effects afterwards, man. Later it gets, though, I will say, it does get active. Nighttime's the best time to do it. During the day, Gundry Sanitarium, that was a hit. That Baltimore, Maryland Demon House was a hit during the day. But I'm sure it's probably crazier at night.
Yeah,
I haven't tested that theory out yet, but
so all I'm hearing is that this move to Baltimore, we're gonna get a lot of stuff.
I am very
excited. Right. It's weird because we've done a lot in Baltimore. You guys are moving over there, and there's a lot of crazy stuff.
Give you a little hub up there. Come post investigation.
Yeah, seriously, man. Come hang out. It'll be a lot of fun. We're excited.
The place you're moving into.
Once we get our studio up, we'll have ways to present evidence to. Like, we're going to hang a TV in our studio, and we'll have all the electrical hookups. So like, if you need to hook up equipment and like demonstrate some things,
that'd be awesome.
We're excited to have you guys come back on the show when we're in our studio.
I would love to do that. And I think the place you're moving into is going to be haunted.
I
mean, he said 1890, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Yeah. I'm excited.
Just kidding, Meg. He doesn't actually believe that.
I do, Meg.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome, Scooby.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So we're going to kind of ask you, how did you and Brandon link up? How did you guys meet?
Well, we met in a place called Edgewater, and I was 13 and he was 14.
Oh, so you guys have known each other for quite some time.
That's pretty cool. So you guys have been friends for a while.
Yeah, 12 years, 12, almost 13 years.
That's great.
So how did you get interested in the paranormal? Just
one day he called me and came up with an idea and said he think I should be a cameraman and he's going to be like the lead investigator.
Huh.
Wow.
Well,
so you guys just had an idea and look at you guys now.
Yeah, I thought he was crazy at first when he brought it up. I was like, he's crazy. Like,
I think I would have too. And like, you must be high.
All right. So you guys have known each other for quite some time, and Brandon wanted you to be his cameraman. You guys had this great idea. How resistant were you to that initially?
I mean, I wasn't sure at first, but I thought about it. I said it might be a great idea.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And then did you regret it after you started going to these places?
I was like really scared. I was like,
right away.
I was like, what am I getting myself into?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, clearly you guys are doing well. What, 12, 13 years later, you're still involved.
Yeah.
So that's pretty great.
What, so you've been pretty much every investigation the two of you have done together, right?
Except one.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that one?
Glen Burnie haunting.
Were you just like, fuck this, I'm out? Or
No.
This is something completely
I wanted to do it. I really did.
Yeah. Funny.
What was your personal favorite? Like the most, or I say favorite, what was the scariest one, I guess, and your favorite?
I would have to say Baltimore Demon House.
Really?
You too. Yeah. What did you like about it?
What I liked about it, I liked talking to the kids and everything, like filming that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's amazing.
Was there a specific moment that in the Baltimore Demon House that you were just kind of in your brain like, nah, I don't think I want to do this?
Yeah, definitely.
What was it? What was the scariest moment for you?
Stacy was telling us that she was like hearing growls.
Oh no!
Yeah, and we were seeing like satanic symbols. That's when I was like, no, I don't know if I want to do this.
No.
Did Brandon have to like pressure you into staying or like convince you to stay? Okay, good.
I was with it.
All right.
Good for you. Yeah, I think maybe after a couple of growls, I would have been out too.
Yeah, I think so. We maybe need a growler to take them on.
Oh, God damn it.
Stop
I'm out.
with
I'm
the
done.
puns.
Taking these off and I quit.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Dumb bitch.
No.
All right. Other than the Baltimore Demon House, what was your personal favorite investigation? Like, where did you have the most fun with the evidence that you were able to capture?
I would have to say Glen Echo Park.
What was so cool about it?
We got in touch with this kid that passed away, and he made made a ball of ours light up, and it was interesting.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's
Where's
really neat.
Yeah, it's close to
The
DC.
Glen Echo Amusement Park.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
That's really cool.
That'd be. I never thought about a ghost at an amusement park, but
I mean,
cool.
I could see
Have you
it.
seen American Horror Story Freak Show? It's
No,
like an
I
amusement
actually haven't
park.
seen that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're dragging ourselves. Ugh.
So what about you? You same thing for your top 3 or your places you want to go, or do you have anything specific?
I would probably say, what he said, Crownsville Hospital.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I would have to say Waverly Place.
Right.
Where
Wizards of Waverly
My
Place.
bad, my bad.
That's the one. See,
I got you guys all thinking
oh
about
my
that.
goodness, I didn't mean to say that.
Sheesh.
once Selena Gomez is on the mind, it's hard to shake. I get it, dude. Tough.
So you would say Crownsville, Waverly Hills, and Conjuring House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty neat. That,
Yeah, I
Point.
think
You
that
guys
would be
as
good
a-
to go.
cool.
Yeah, you guys as a team, I think, is really cool that you're on the same page.
Yeah.
Because that makes investigations kind of cornering your budget and your time to going and investigating those places together. I think that's really great to have good teamwork like that.
So let me ask: with y'all had a video that went viral. Were you the one filming that when it went viral? Were you the man behind the camera?
Yeah,
for
I
that
was the
one? Were
man
you?
behind the camera.
Were you able to see anything personally, or was it just kind of on the video?
After
It was
reveal.
it was on video.
Was it? Okay.
So you didn't
Oh.
realize you had caught it until after.
Yeah, I didn't
Wow.
realize.
See,
Can't do
that's
that.
that's
Probably-
what's scary.
Right?
I
Yeah,
don't
it is.
know.
Baby Bridge, yeah.
Yeah, Crybaby Bridge. Yeah.
I
Man.
think that I would rather catch it later on video than in person, because if I saw it in person, I think it would panic me and I'd be like, "Oh my god!"
See,
yeah,
I'm-
definitely,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely.
I'm the opposite. I kind of want to see it in person so that I
Nope.
I can't chalk it up to.
I see both sides.
I can't. It was just the camera.
Oh, it's
It was
just some weird anomaly
Yeah, I
on
want
the
to.
camera.
I want to put my eyes on it and be like, all right, well, now I have a good reason to poop my pants at night.
Just as we asked lead investigator Brandon, is there a moment that you experienced that was scary enough for you to give this career path a second thought?
Oh yes.
What was it?
When we went to like the Maryland Inn and we were doing a live stream and I got choked. I got like strangled.
What?
Shit,
Yeah.
really?
So like you
It was an
physically
entity.
felt.
Yeah, it was an
In
entity that
Annapolis?
was choking me. Yeah.
What? Holy cow!
I can see Brandon sitting over there with like a look of jealousy on his face, like,
He's
man, I want to be choked.
No. He thought it was funny at first because he didn't know like what actually happened.
Right.
So what happened? Explain the situation.
So it was Brandon and it was another past member and they were coming out of the basement or the attic. They were on the roof and they heard like a spirit or something say Africa or whatever. And I didn't pay it no
What?
mind. I didn't really pay it no mind. I was just downstairs with Stacy and I thought it was just weird. And they went into this room and then I started feeling like I was being strangled. Like I couldn't catch my breath. And then I just like ran out of there so fast because it kept like strangling me. And they didn't know
Wow.
where I went at all. I just like ran outside. And when I was outside, I still felt like I was being strangled.
Oh, wow.
And I was telling like the entity to stop choking me.
yeah.
And I was like feeling like so angry. Like I was really angry because I
Ooh.
can't see what was like strangling me.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that is 50 Shades of fucked up. Right
Yeah,
there.
definitely.
Holy cow. Yeah, that would make me want to quit as well.
Yeah, they were like, where did Kareem go?
He's just running down Main Street in
I
Annapolis.
ran down like 4 flights of steps. And
Yeah, you would have caught me at the nearest bar, like taking a couple shots to shake that one off. Holy crap.
So,
yeah,
so
that traumatized me. Like,
Yeah, I think that would.
was this early on in your investigating career?
oh yes, it
Oh,
was
so
it was in the summer.
Oh, so you've got some good resolve to stick with it. Because as we've discussed numerous times, I would not.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a specific room. It was just kind of walking around and it happened there.
Yeah, like I think we were on like the 4th floor. Yeah, the 4th floor that happened.
Noted.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
see,
go.
the real key is you just have to, when you're getting strangled, just be like, oh yeah, I actually like that. And then
Harder.
I bet you stop.
I couldn't catch my breath or like really
It's
talk,
Stephen's
so I
kink.
wasn't going to say that.
I mean, I imagine that when that's happening to you and you can't see what's doing that, it's just sheer
Oh
panic.
no, I'm gonna be like, yes, daddy, harder.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, Poppy.
Oh, man.
Well, yeah. What? So you, I guess for nighttime.
Yes, Daddy.
Yes, Daddy.
Can you imagine just like? I wonder what would happen. I get a
just be
full,
like, yes,
all of a
oh.
sudden a full body apparition
And
just
that's
shows up,
how
and be like
Steven
shaking
died.
its head, looking at me like, no,
No, we're done.
you know what? I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Thanks for this.
The ghost's just going to look you directly in the eye. You ruined this.
Oh man, yeah. So Maryland Inn, that's where we need to go. For you, Annapolis specifically. We know that Annapolis is a pretty haunty place.
Yes, it is.
Are there places here in Annapolis that you haven't been to, or that you have been to and would like to go back to?
I would have to say the Calvert House.
Really? So what was the Calvert House like? I haven't heard anything about
Oh,
it.
it was really interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
What kind of evidence did you guys catch there?
Like we noticed that they used to have like a party in like the ballroom and everything.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Man, all these places.
I know.
So many ghosts, so little time.
Annapolis. All these histories, mysteries.
Although to be fair, you're gonna slap me for this. You did say earlier YOLO, but you know, with all these ghosts, maybe that's not the case.
What are you saying YOLO for?
You said YOLO
God.
earlier.
So,
No, it's
so
just
do we-
another stupid dad joke. Is that what you were doing
Well,
right there?
I mean,
So-
if there's a ghost, maybe you live twice.
Well, that was really bad.
I was just going to ask, do we go
That
from
didn't- when you have to
YOLO to
explain
Yolt?
it.
Yolt.
You
Yolt.
only lived twice. You only
Oh,
lived
yeah.
several times.
All right.
This is how I got kicked off the show.
Yeah. We'll keep you on for editing.
Final question for you, Scooby. If you could take a trip anywhere in the country or anywhere internationally, if budget and any of that wasn't any constraints, where would you like to take the team personally for you to investigate?
I would like to go to the castle where Ghost Adventures went.
Where was it?
It was in Ireland.
Oh,
that's a good one.
nice.
Speaking of, we did get some Irish listeners this week, so maybe they'll reach out to us with a little more information.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you know the name of it?
I haven't watched that episode in a while.
Really?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Ireland's pretty haunty.
I feel like all of those castles over there are just
Oh yeah, all
pretty crazy.
all of them.
Is it the Leap Castle? The Leap Castle and Hellfire Club in Ireland.
I think it is.
Hellfire
Yeah.
okay.
Club?
Dude.
Oh shit! I read a book about the Hellfire Club.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
neat.
We're gonna have to
We
get
should
into that
do
one
a
day.
story on that. Yeah.
I read half a book on the Hellfire Club.
Okay, well, Lily, we know
read
how
a
you are.
quarter
With,
of the
yeah,
book.
we know how you are with reading books. You probably read the cover, stuck a bookmark in it, and like, nah, I'll get to
So
this
to
later.
our listeners and to you guys, Lily has a nasty habit of starting a book, maybe 10 to 100 pages, and then never finishing it,
I made it the furthest in it. I finished
which was
half of
50%.
it. It's a big book. I finished like 600 pages.
Right?
I feel like audiobooks are cheating though, so I've got this like weird mentality where I'm like, no, I have to read it and then I won't.
That's cheating. I'm just gonna not do it instead.
I'll watch the movie.
For you guys, you've got some pretty big things coming up. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the projects you're working on and some of the big developments that are coming up in your near future?
Right now, we're on season 2. So we're filming season 2. January is pretty booked. So,
Will it be airing on Facebook?
So, no, I mean, we're still going to be doing live investigations here and there on Facebook, but everything's going to be on Paraflixx, which comes out in March. New streaming network. You know, it's the new Paranormal of Netflix, basically.
Fantastic.
You know, from UFOs, ghost hunting, and so on. So we're filming season 2 for them right now, and all of our episodes for season 2 will be aired on there. We're on the 11th. It's coming up real soon, a couple days, that we're going to be going to the B&O Ellicott City Railroad Station Museum.
Ooh.
Oh,
One of the
neat.
oldest railroad stations in the U.S., if I'm not mistaken. So I'm excited.
Will that be live or will that be a full episode?
Won't be live. This will be shot for an episode.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
how exciting. So how can people find Paraflixx? Perfect.
Paraflixx is, it's going to be updated. I'm going to update it every day. You can just go on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, find them and get updates for it.
Is it an app?
It's going to be a streaming app, just like Hulu and just like where you watch, Netflix, stuff like that. So you're going to be paying for a subscription. I don't know the pricing of it.
Right.
Not sure. So I'm still learning as I go with them too.
And it's Paraflixx with 2 X's.
Yep,
right?
2
Okay.
X's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I know I'm excited.
I'm
definitely
looking forward to
Are
that
you
for
excited?
sure.
I'm stoked.
Are you excited?
I am pumped.
I am so pumped. We were just talking about ditching Netflix, so maybe this is it. This is our opportunity. Slide into Paraflixx.
Yeah, we're gonna need that help.
Slide
and
into
support
their
there.
DMs.
Yeah, speaking of sliding,
We've already tried.
Can we circle back real quick? Did you say Soapy pumped?
Soapy pumped.
Soapy pumped.
Soapy pumped.
Okay.
Soapy pumped.
I just wanted to make sure that that's what came out of your Soapy pumped.
I am going to bury you.
So SOP period pump.
Right. So
P for pretty.
So
Soapy pump.
So pretty pumped.
Shut up.
I hate this. All right, Brandon.
Soapy pumps.
Soapy at the last word. So the final word here from you. Tell us and our listeners where they can find you on social media and what your handles are.
So on social media, my nickname is Fun Uniform, so it's listed as that. Hopefully we'll change it eventually, but just go on Facebook, type in Fun Uniform. I'm the only one. Yep, one word. Have my partnership on there. You're going to be able to watch our live investigations, become a supporter for exclusive content, giveaways, and you never know, you could be a guest if you're in the area. We'll bring you on for either an episode or a live stream. So everything's on there right now. We update people every day with what we're doing.
Their content is fantastic, and they catch a lot of evidence. So I highly encourage you to go and check that out.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I mean, for a while, we were putting out our series. We have 6 episodes on there right now. Of course, the rest of it's going to be on Paraflixx. So, but just so people know, we're still on Facebook. We're still going to give you content. We're still going to give you these live streams.
But big moves coming.
Yeah, because we got, for instance, the biggest live stream up next is on the 23rd, the Lunatic Asylum.
What fun.
Call back to episode 1.
So to all our listeners, make sure to tune in on that. January 23rd.
Yep.
We've done a story on this, and it's amazing place.
10 p.m. will be live. It'll be a 2-hour live stream. We're staying there from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Whew.
Yep.
Steven's asleep.
Oh, if I was there, I'd be stoked.
No, you're going to be up. We're going to have a viewing party of this live stream because we've done a story on it, and we have Brandon here. We need to watch this.
I'm so pumped.
Soapy pumped.
This is gonna be a thing.
It's gonna be the title. Soapy pumping.
Oh, I hate that.
No, I know you do. So, all right. Well, hey, thank you both for coming on.
We really appreciate it.
We can't wait to have you guys on again in the future.
Oh, yeah, man.
Absolutely. We're going to get some more stories. And
this is just the first episode of May.
To have you on in the future.
That's going to be a trend.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's going to trend.
So, all right, guys. Well, thank you again. And we will be looking out for those live streams.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
So, Steve, how's the move going? Let's talk about the state of your house.
The state of my house looks very similar to what I assumed the Capitol building looked like the other day.
Oh, Yikes. Boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went there.
Yeah.
Cut that out.
No.
No, that's bad.
Topical humor.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's the hydrocortisone of humor. Apply topically.
I don't like that.
No, I got you both. I got you both. Okay. So welcome back, everybody, from the interview that we just had. We hope you enjoyed it. A little bit unique, a little bit Alexis.
Unique New York.
A little bit Alexis.
You may hear the click-clacking of my dog's nails on the floor around. They've been cooped up all morning, so we decided to let them out and let them free. I don't know.
Free Stella.
Justice for Stella.
So we have a special treat for our listeners in the UK today. Neither Jay nor Lily has any idea what this story is about, and I'm pretty excited.
Oh, it's a story. I thought you were going to be like, we're sending you guys pot brownies or something. I was like, dope.
Yikes.
Wow. So we have a couple of listeners more than a couple now from the UK that have been tuning in, Scotland and
Ireland. We've got some listeners up in Ireland.
We do have some in Ireland.
The UK, down in England.
One of us, me, loves scotch. So if anybody works at a distillery, just saying.
Yeah.
Send us a picture of you drinking all of it and laughing at Jay.
Yeah, great idea.
Yeah.
You guys are assholes.
I know.
We'll send you a t-shirt.
Yeah, send me a t-shirt.
No, we were sending them a t-shirt.
For making fun of you.
Oh, all right.
You just got really excited.
Yeah, I was
How about the t-shirt more than the scotch?
I know.
I love an Aberfeldy or a McGowan t-shirt.
Gross.
Anywho, so today I'm going to be talking about Mary King's clothes and the Norlock. Not her clothes. Not like she got naked.
I was going to say you're going to talk about her pantaloons.
Oh, yeah. This is
Benjamin Franklin.
This is
Boxers, briefs, or pantaloons.
Oh, saucy.
This is not so this is Mary King's clothes and the Norlock. So a little bit about Scotland. It is named as one of the most haunted places on Earth. Gasp. Mary King's clothes is named one of the most haunted locations on Earth.
And it's in Scotland?
Double gasp.
Oh my gosh.
So, it's in Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
No, let's not alienate our listeners.
Right.
All right. I was being facetious. I understand it is pronounced differently.
Yeah, she was being feces.
Yeah, she was being very methodical about using her words. So, threw that one right back at you. So, Edinburgh is got a little bit of a unique design. And I think it's important to talk to you a little bit about what the city looks like so that we can then talk about what Mary King's clothes is.
Are there buildings and roads?
It is.
Oh, okay.
Edinburgh is
designed.
Edinburgh?
I said in Edinburgh.
No.
You said Edinburgh.
You pronounced a hard G on there.
I cannot wait for you to listen to this. No. You are a fool.
I'm no fool. Have you ever seen that YouTube video? The guy's trying to prove that the Earth is flat.
No.
And he's like got all these degrees. He's like, I am no fool. And then he holds up a globe and he's like, if a plane is flying south to north, it stays level. But it flies east to west, you never see the plane's wing down towards it. And I'm like, you are a fool.
You're definitely a fool.
So Edinburgh is designed where I said Edinburgh.
You keep saying it with a hard G.
I'm not. I promise I'm not. So E-City is designed where the castle is at the top of a hill and the city slants down away from the castle.
So you could say it's like King's Landing.
I actually was thinking it looks more like Rohan from the Lord of the Rings. You know where
Thank you. Yes.
Oh man.
That giant
yeah.
I cannot escape Lord of the Rings.
No, you can't.
It is the worst.
No,
I'm ready for the hate mail.
I'll
take it,
you
honestly.
pronounce best wrong.
Not like Edinburgh.
Or methodical.
Fuck you.
Yeah, bring it.
Okay, so I say methodical wrong
50 or 60 times. Yeah.
And all of a sudden.
This is what you get.
So it's like Rohan where
it looks like that. The castle's up on top and it's surrounded by a volcanic cliff.
That's dope.
From the castle, the entire city slopes down the hill and goes out towards what is now a large garden, but what used to be the Norlock. Now a loch is just a lake. And this loch was man-made on marshlands at the time. A close is the streets and alleys are built off of the main road, and these are very tight, just tightly knit alleys. And
like a toiga.
Like a toiga. So they spread out like in a spiderweb fashion from the main street. Now, Edinburgh
there you go, bud.
is unique in that not only do they have the volcanic cliff, but they also in the 1600s built a large wall surrounding the city in order to protect it. So they've got the large wall, they've got a man-made loch, and they've got a volcanic cliff. Because, everybody was attacking everyone in Scotland during those times.
Kind of similar to like the layout of Athens with the Acropolis at the top and the city wall. Okay.
Looking at a picture, it actually reminds me a lot of when we went to Strasbourg,
France. The Alsace region.
Yeah, Alsace. Very beautiful.
So what happens when they built this wall, though, is as the population increases, they can't expand. They can't build outward. So what is the natural remedy?
Move up.
Build up. So a lot of these buildings were 8 to 10 stories tall. It was houses on top of houses.
Okay.
And like I said, this is built on a slant. So as the old saying goes, shit rolls downhill. So
quite literally.
Oh yeah.
Yummy.
So during the time, sewage was disposed of by just chucking it out the window. Much like you see people chucking beer bottles out the window on the highway nowadays.
Have you seen that?
I have at least 5 times.
Because you're from the South. I have never seen that.
Really?
I expect that behavior from Alabama.
Nice Georgia.
Yeah, it is.
Have a little more class, Georgia.
So, but they would just throw their urine and feces out the windows, and it would, roll down the hill and wash down the hill.
Have you ever seen urine roll?
I've seen feces roll. So naturally, the more wealthy and more well-to-do people would live higher up on this hill, closer to the castle.
Sense. Yeah.
And then the poorer you were,
you get the penthouse.
Exactly. And the poorer you are, the closer you live to the lock, which is where all the sewage rolls into, and just the real nasty of nasties.
But it smelled delicious.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't have Febreze back then. So what a bummer. Or poopery. Great invention, by the way. I don't know, have you ever used it?
We have some.
Yeah.
I got some for Christmas for Jay many moons ago, and I think I used it once, and it was minty, and I did not like the feeling.
Wait, you didn't spray it on yourself, did you?
No, I didn't.
You said you liked the feeling. I don't know if you were trying to.
No, I didn't like the feeling.
Well. Now we know what happened with it.
No, I sprayed it once, and it was like a mist.
It was
nothing like a
and,
minty Poseidon's
and the mint
kiss.
rose. And I did not like the feeling of mint on my nether regions.
Oh.
Not like that.
Okay.
So I have
You
not
didn't
used
do
it
much
since.
better of a job describing that this time around. I didn't like the feeling of the mint on my...
It rose up from the toilet water, which is where you spray it.
So Poseidon had some spearmint gum before
the
kiss.
Yeah. Poseidon's spearmint. Yeah.
Gross.
Oh, that really diverged.
So these poor districts down lower in the city, they would get all the feces and the urine and just everything down there. It's just a dirty, dingy area. There was just with these buildings going higher, these closes were these alleys that snake between the buildings is where shops and houses and everything were. And they're very, very dark and ominous because these buildings are rising higher and higher.
Oh, you want it dark and ominous.
Yeah.
You're fucking Billy Baldwin, aren't you?
Wow.
It's from Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh, I know.
Who didn't get that reference.
So the closes were generally named after prominent citizens of the time. So Mary King's Close was and still is one of the more famous because it is still standing today. But I say standing in a very facetious manner. Mary King was a prominent fabric merchant in the 1630s, which for a woman of the time to set up her own business after her husband's death, this was a big deal.
She's an entrepreneur.
She was. And so she ended up getting this opportunity to have a close named after her. Well-deserved, especially at the time.
Are these alleys like covered or are they just like open alleys?
Well,
looks like this one's covered.
Well, so there's a reason.
Oh.
The closes were
dun dun dun.
The closes were normally open air. However, there came a time when the city of Edinburgh decided they needed to build a new royal exchange for their, mints and their teas.
Their poopery.
Yeah.
Poseidon's mint.
To sell Poseidon's spearmint at the checkout line. So they found the perfect place. Unfortunately, said place was already occupied by many buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So what did they do?
Build up.
They demolished the upper floors of the buildings around Mary King's Close, paved over it, and built the Royal Exchange on top of all of these businesses and houses and things of that nature.
Yeah, that tracks.
That
which caused the close to be entirely underground.
That's dope.
It is still underground today. Many people did move out, But
do people still live there?
no, the last person to live there left in 1902.
Damn.
And, yeah. So a long time.
I bet that shit would be worth a ton of money now.
What, the clothes? Well,
that apartment.
Maybe, but maybe not because it's haunted. The clothes has a very, very, very bad history. So this Royal Exchange was built and a lot of people left, but businesses still operated.
Sure.
And, you'd just be like, oh, I need to go to the cobbler. I don't know, something from back then that you might use.
Cobbler.
Like peach cobbler?
Maybe. I don't know. If you wear
How do you go to the peach cobbler? We'll move on.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So the rich people that were living, rich, I say with air quotes, because again, this is the close. There's not a lot of people down there that have a lot of money, but the more well-to-do were able to move out, but not everybody was.
Okay.
So this is in the early 1600s, right around the time
Tell me.
plague.
Tell me.
No. The plague?
The plague.
Oh, man.
The Black Death. The city of Edinburgh decided, you know what? We've got all this plague. What are we going to do? I've got an idea. Let's brick up the entire close with everyone still living in there and leave them to die.
So kind of like
Nice.
the Poveglia in Italy.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So they bricked up everybody and left
Plague
them to
really
die.
does not bring out the good side
No.
of anybody.
And you would think, that was kind of the end of the close. No. 40 years later in 1680, opened back up. People moved back in.
Huh.
As one does.
It tracks. Why not?
Yeah. So around the same time, this is nearby to the Nor Loch. So Nor Loch, as I mentioned, was the man-made lake down near the marshlands that was used as a protective area of Edinburgh. But in the early 1600s, there were also the witch trials of Scotland.
You know who started that?
Who?
It was King James.
King James the First from Scotland, or from England, and King James the First from England and the Sixth from Scotland. Same guy.
And he was a piece of shit.
Yeah?
Yeah, he started it because he was on a ship going to get his new wife from, I think it was Spain. Anyway, and the ship went down and he blamed witches, and then it just went insane. He wrote a bunch of books about it too. This guy was fucked up, guys.
Yeah.
Same guy who brought you the Bible.
Just a translation of it.
Yeah.
The method of determining whether you were a witch or not of the time is if she weighs more than a duck, she's not a witch. So
it's very different than in the States. It's like, throw her in a well. She sinks to the bottom.
She was a
witch.
witch.
This is no. This is the same. They would take these women that were accused of being witches. They would tie their thumbs to their big toes, drag them down to the Nor Loch, and toss them in. If they drown, they're not a witch. If they floated, they're burned at the stake.
Oh, yeah. It was either way you died. It was just whether you died innocent or guilty.
Exactly.
Weighing
so,
like I see.
The first time your neighbor's like, I think you're a witch, you're like, well, better go get my will written. So, yeah, great time. The Nor Loch was also a big location for suicides of the time. It was a smuggling route. It is also the watery area downhill from all of the sewage.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, not a place to go swimming.
So, it also smells
it was the cleanest place in the city.
Right. Well, one interesting tale of the area of the Nor Loch is a man in 1628 named George Sinclair. Old Georgie decided...
Was the gas guy?
The what?
The Sinclair gas?
Oh,
with
no,
the
no,
dinosaur?
George Sinclair.
Spoiler alert, he dies. So, yeah. Like you didn't know that was coming.
Is this the same Sinclair from the Order of the Knights Templar?
Oh, I have no idea.
Or
I doubt it.
Dinosaur Sinclairs?
No.
Do you know which ones I'm talking about?
Unfortunately,
with the baby?
I do. Not the mama.
Mama!
Not the mama.
Not the mama!
Oh my gosh. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Boy, you're going to learn a lot.
So he decided that he was going to have an incestuous relationship with his two daughters.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, He was caught. He and both his daughters were sentenced to death. You know.
Were his daughters like into it?
Pretty sure it was molestation.
Okay,
George Sinclair got it. Died in 1696. Scottish mathematician and demonologist.
Different George Sinclair. Same
demonologist
country.
Is what King James was too.
God
damn it. These people
But it's the same time frame, 1690.
This guy dies in 1628, though.
Oh.
So,
wow.
Yeah,
okay.
you fool.
Oh, yeah. Fool.
I am no fool. So George Sinclair was sentenced to death with his two daughters. Now, the youngest daughter's sentence was commuted, thankfully.
How old was she?
Oh, I couldn't find any information, but
Okay.
she was pretty young, like preteen.
Okay.
His other daughter, however, was not so lucky. And what do you think their method of murder most foul was?
Drowning.
By ducks?
Drowning by ducks. I don't know how that would work.
Murder most foul.
Right?
Ooh, that's a duality.
See?
Wow.
There.
Did you like it?
I did.
Wow.
Wow.
Look who's the queen here.
Pants queen.
Pants queen.
We get derailed real quick. They were placed into a wooden box together.
Who was?
George Sinclair and his daughter.
Okay.
Holes were drilled into the wooden box, and then they were thrown in the lake to drown. In 1820, workmen digging a drain near the well house tower of the castle found a box. Reports of either two or three skeletons. So there's a little bit of confusion on whether or not the youngest daughter did get commuted, but most sources say it was just two skeletons were found. So definitely a true story. And it was, pretty gruesome. So this Norlock near Mary King's is a real rough place to be.
Talk about death by drowning. That sounds terrible.
Yeah. I don't remember what it was. There was a story of a guy who was like thrown overboard, not thrown, but he fell overboard. And it's pretty recently, I say the past couple of decades, and he had been in the water for something like 18 hours in the ocean, and a search party passed within a few hundred yards of him and didn't see him. And he was in the water for 8 more hours after that before being rescued. But he said that he tried to commit suicide by diving and then just gulping seawater to try to drown himself. And the first gasp, he said it just burned so bad and his survival instinct kicked in that he couldn't do it. And he said it was easier for him to just suffer and survive than it was to just try to die. Can you imagine?
No.
That's awful.
I've seen Castaway.
I used to free dive a lot. And I will say I got close to drowning one time. My weight belt got caught on a rock. I was about 60 feet deep and my weight belt got caught on a rock. And I had to take my weight belt off underwater. And so for those of you that don't know free diving.
You white people are crazy. Honestly.
I'm so glad I'm Asian.
Right? So for those of you that don't know, free diving is breath hold diving. And
it's fucking, no.
It's awesome.
It's
it's really cool. I really enjoyed it and I'd love to do it again. But at this point, I take my weight belt off. I'm holding it in my hand because I feel like if I black out, I want to let go of the weight belt so that I float. Because when you're deeper than about 30 feet, you don't float. You're neutrally buoyant. And so I was real close. I lost my vision when I got out of the water, for about a minute. I couldn't see anything. It's pretty scary. Scary.
You're really talking this up.
Right? So,
Can't
anywho.
wait to try it.
So back to Mary King's Close. And we're actually almost done. This is, just like I said, short story, but Mary King's, we've gotten the plague that they bricked up and everybody died.
Yeah, that's like basically the recap. There's a bunch of people living there, so we bricked them in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they died. The last resident, as I mentioned, his name was Andrew Chesney. In 1902 is when he left. I think he left. I say he left. He died. But the close was closed off. Play on words. It was closed off, and then it's been reopened since, and you can actually do tours. They also allow paranormal investigations now, where you can go in with 1 or 2 team members of the closed staff, and they allow you to investigate using your methods, whatever you determine, in the rooms that you choose, with one exception. They do not allow Ouija boards.
God damn it. Is that why you chose this?
What?
To be like, Lily, fuck you. You're not coming.
Right? So they don't allow Ouija boards.
Oh man, that is my method.
Well, you say it's your method, but
how many times have you actually done it?
Once.
Right.
Crickets. Anyway.
I did. I tried to summon Abraham Lincoln.
Ghost. Yeah.
It didn't work.
I'm not surprised. And even if it had, I think it probably wouldn't have been
That's
Abraham
like
Lincoln.
filming your dog like taking a shit on the backyard and being like, Netflix, pick me up. You can't go for like the top. You can't be like, I want Abraham Lincoln. You should be like, hey, dead girl in the house, like talk to me.
No, you can ask if you've got a good question, like I did. You can summon anyone. I'm positive of it.
You're positive of it.
Your question was literally. Hold on, Steve.
My question.
Her question was literally, can you really fit 10 gallons in that hat?
Yeah. So really good question.
It was unique.
Not what was the impact of emancipation on your life? Well, I mean, I guess we all know how that turned out. So in the end,
10-gallon hat.
Have you
it's
met
relevant.
Lily? She wouldn't ask those substantial questions like, tell me hold on, let me push my glasses up on my nose here. Tell me the impact of the No.
What if he did? He was just like, yes, on the Ouija board. It would have blown your fucking mind.
I wouldn't have believed it for a second.
What are you talking about?
I don't.
You wouldn't trust Honest Abe?
I wouldn't trust a Ouija board.
No, it's not. I wouldn't trust the Ouija board. I wouldn't trust the people operating the Ouija board.
I wouldn't trust that if we all did one with Lily, that she wouldn't just try to be like, yes.
Fuck you guys.
Oh, yeah, I can definitely fit. It's
you
actually
won't even
12
do
gallons.
One with me. Oh, man. You know what? Whatever. We're gonna move on from this.
We are going to move on.
I'm getting all
she's
kerfuffled right now.
So the Mary King's Close is open today, as I mentioned, and you are allowed to do these paranormal investigations. It's been on Most Haunted. It's been on a few Japanese shows. There's been a lot of investigations. And I mentioned Japanese shows because we are going to talk about some of the specifics of hauntings in the area. Just the basics. Visitors have reported hearing footsteps in empty rooms and feeling unexplained chills. Infrared cameras that have been used to take pictures of visitors have caught translucent figures in the background late at night after the building was closed. The Chesney household, Chesney household, the guy who, Dick Cheney's household. So,
Richard's house.
Right, Andrew Chesney's household, a strong presence has been felt of a man who was not well liked within his community. A medium there concluded his investigation saying that the spirit was growing increasingly unhappy to have company in a space, which, I mean, if I was the last resident in the close, I'd be like, yeah, get the hell out of my house. Like, I just want to live here. I obviously didn't want to have neighbors, so why are you here now? There is, and I mentioned the Japanese television, so there is a Japanese psychic, and I'm apologizing for the butchering of this name, Aiko Gibo, who has been in a room where they've dubbed the girl, this young girl ghost, Annie. Now, Annie is thought to have been a plague victim whose parents abandoned her to be bricked up in the close.
What a bunch of assholes.
Yeah. The psychic said when she saw this girl that Annie had a tear-soaked face and she couldn't find her parents, but she was looking for her doll. She couldn't find her doll and was lonely and scared. Well, the psychic says, you know what? I'll be back. And so this Japanese psychic goes and buys a doll and brings it back. Well, this word got out, and people who visit this close have been bringing dolls and writing notes and filling the room. And it is said now that when people do see Annie, she's happy. So kind of a sweet story.
Not a demon in the close.
No.
Idea. Let's bring her the Annabelle doll.
Let's
not
light her dolls on fire.
Wow. Yes.
Just kidding, Annie.
So
she's not listening to podcasts.
Right? You don't know. It's 2021.
Oh God, it is 2021.
Someone bring her an iPod.
Thank God we were 6 days in and the Capitol building got stormed.
Yeah, 2021 is already off.
2020 was the usher that was showing 2021 around the office.
2020 walked so 2021 could run.
So the room is full of dolls now, which I think in and of itself is pretty creepy.
Yeah. Especially if they're dolls from around the world. So there's different.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. All the dolls kind of look differently and culturally.
There's like totally little bunny dolls and like very creepy looking. So there's more paranormal teams have gone to investigate this close. So there's one called Haunted Evening. Her team investigated twice in 2018 and 2019. The crutch with I say crutch. That's not the word I'm looking for. The method was they wanted to focus on experiments that could scientifically prove existence. Don't they all? They've experienced cold spots, spikes in EMF, and numerous audio snippets. In 2019, they used the EVPs, which is the electronic voice phenomena, and they were receiving some voices that the recordings are still out there. One of them says it's Chesney, who's the guy who left in 1902.
It's Cheney.
Richard Chesney.
It's Cheney. Please get that shotgun away from me. Later, someone captured the words "get the fuck out." Yeah. So, that signals maybe we should leave. They didn't. They got another recording in Chesney's house that said, "get out of here." But it wasn't just one recorder. All 3 devices that they had captured "get out of here."
That's solid.
They used a REM pod that was showing intelligent responses and suggesting a female presence. They also got 3 taps, the 3 knocks on an EVP device. And as they were leaving the room, they heard a simple goodbye, and that got recorded.
I would love to do a investigation, and then as we walk out the door here, bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
That would be fantastic.
And then ghosts up on the times, huh?
Yeah.
In 2011, Spectre detectors, who supposedly have been investigating supernatural phenomena. Oh, sorry. They've been investigating phenomena since 2011. They visited in April of 2019.
Solid name, by the way.
The Spectre detectors. Oh man, I just came up with the greatest name. Inspector Gadgets. And you're a ghost hunting tools store.
No.
Inspector Gadgets.
Overruled.
No. Do you not remember being in middle school and hearing those 12-year-old perverts being like, "Ooh, I'm going to inspect her gadget"?
I never heard that. I also didn't have friends, so.
That's true, because you were a loser.
The EVP that was captured by Spectre detectors also caught knocking, a voice telling the group no, and growling noises. They captured a picture of a man with a mustache, which
a mustache.
Mustache, which I am very partial to because my mustache is glorious.
It is not.
Man, it's a womb broom for the ages.
It is not.
So the pictures also showed an orb in the corner that a member of the group felt particularly drawn to, whatever that means. I don't know why they're looking at me like, oh, that orb.
Well, when you go, you have to establish a pee corner.
Maybe they did just want to go pee in the corner.
It's something Jay would do. He'd be like, "This is where I pee."
Marks his territory. He's afraid of ghosts. He's afraid of ghosts, so he whips it out and spins in a circle. You can't cross that line.
It's like a salt line, but pee.
Establishing his territory.
Right? I had an electrolyte drink last night, so there's plenty of salt in that. Later on, the group spent some time in the plague room, and they could smell fragrant herbs similar to the ones plague doctors would stuff their masks with in the 1600s. They also captured a photograph of a man in the room wearing a flat cap, top hat, and had a stern...
A 10-gallon hat?
Maybe it was.
Damn, and no Ouija boards.
And had a stern expression on his face. Spectre Detector described it as the most amazing spirit photo we have ever seen. As they called out to the man, asking him if he was a guide, they got a response of, on the EVP. So it's 3 M's on my notes. So I don't know if it was like, or if it was like, like
it can be interpreted many ways.
Right. And that is the story of Mary King's Close. So
no, I've never heard of that location. Yeah, I cannot wait to go.
It's a pretty interesting story. And I would love to go to Edinburgh.
The most fucked up part is just these people are sick, so we should probably help them. Let's brick them up.
I mean, that's a tactic that was used in so many places.
There are reports that they were still brought food and water and things like that. But in the end, you think this quarantine's bad. Imagine just being like, nah, we're going to brick you up in your home.
I mean, maybe that would have been beneficial.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we've concluded our story and we've looked into the void. And now we're haunted.
Haunted.
Haunted.